Taylor Swift is a link builder. There were rumors that she would get engaged. Our client said, let's give them a free wedding venue. And then we got them 50 links. That's digital PR.
Managing multiple clients or large websites? Automate your SEO with Ali AI. Start your free trial now.
Wix Studio, one end-to-end web creation platform for your agency to deliver exceptional work with absolute efficiency.
Hi everyone, are you ready for some more afternoon SEO? Yeah. I was told that you will remember 2 to 3 things from talks today. So I'm going to tell you something. Drinks reception is at 6 p.m. Not long to go. Right, so I am Reena Bowden. I am with SAS Software, a global leader in data and AI. And today I'm going to tell you the story of, I forgot the clicker. The story of how we created a global cohesive SEO network. It's a story about performance, but it's also a story about people. Right, I'm starting with the why. So some numbers here, you can't see all of them, but I'm going to read just a few key ones. There's a huge untapped potential in the organic search space, whether you are looking at being more visible in analytics, gaining market share in data, or artificial intelligence. These are opportunities whether you are in SEO, but whether you are in content writing, whether you are in technical, in industry, and more importantly in sales, you want to grow market share in these areas, as long as these keywords obviously are aligned to your business. So how do we do this? How do we get all these experts around multi-functions, multi-countries as well? We are an international organization at SAS. How do we get them to work together? How do we break down these silos and deliver market share growth in those areas? And if we do this, does that impact performance? Imagine a network where we have been able to do this. An increase of 42% in organic search traffic, an increase of 22% in conversions, and an increase of 53% in source pipeline. This is just organic search. Our target was 5%. So let me tell you how we went ahead and delivered this. Right. So we work within an international organization. So we have people based in many offices around the world. They're based in many countries. So we have people in Korea, in India, in South Africa, in New Zealand, in LATAM, in Europe, in US, and in Canada. So we have people everywhere. So we quickly realized that we have a multicultural, diverse team. And when we layered in global collaboration, that was our success for driving growth. Right. With that in mind, let's talk a little bit more. And let me tell you a little bit about myself. So I am Reena. I grew up in Mauritius. My late grandmother used to work in the sugarcane fields in Mauritius to send all 4 of her children to school. And 3 generations down the line, I am very fortunate to have been able to attend university as the first female in my family. I went to study in Paris, where I worked, in London, and in San Diego. So from a very young age, I was exposed to multicultural, various the diversity. And it appeared to me that where we connect are actually where we might feel that we're different. So that's what I realized. That's when I realized that collaboration is actually possible when people are different. And that's exactly where we started finding collaboration points. And the way we brought people together to create that global SEO network was very important. It played a key role in getting everyone on board. So it was an evolution, not a revolution. So we look at things that were existing already throughout the organization. We looked at things that would be evolving to create that global SEO network. And it would look a lot like this. The role of a global SEO network provides a mandate. So the mandate is to maximize organic search impact for the organization, provides a purpose, encompass all the functions that are essential to the creation, the existence of that network throughout the organization. So this is looking at multi-functions, multi-disciplines, and an outcome. So So we want to increase and maximize bottom line, but through the funnel. So we need to look at all the numbers. There were challenges along the way. So external challenges, search engine algorithm changes, changes in trends, changes in the market, competitors. So there's a lot of things that are external and that are not within our control, quite limited. And there were a lot of internal factors as well. And sometimes when you are dealing with such a large organization, you can be in the way of your own success. Not only the fact that we have teams all over the world, we have about 10.5 different time zones, but we have people in different languages. We have people from multi teams. We have pockets of work happening everywhere. We have people translating here, translating there. We don't have an aligned plan. We don't have an aligned strategy. We don't have aligned resources, budget, and so on and so forth, agencies, and etc. Therefore, what was key was to align the functions. So in here, we wanted to have a clear understanding of what we were working with. So aligning the key functions was essential. So each of these swim lanes represent a function, and each of these functions is essential to the organization and the creation of that network. And I'm talking about functions such as content, such as industry marketing, such as web, DX, etc., and so on and so forth. With a deep dive into those swim lanes, we were able then to understand really quickly where the interlock points were going to be. So it became really, really clear. And that was essential because it was not just SEO or digital marketeers just like myself driving that work, but it was the inclusion of all the different functions. Right. So now we have a multifunction SEO. Who does what? It can get a bit overwhelming. So you can see a number of things need to happen: on page, off page SEO, SEO reporting, technical SEO, and so on and so forth. How do we overcome this overwhelming feeling of so much to do? Build a plan. Always a plan when things get out of control. So the plan was essential. Well, we all build plans, but this one was with the functions. So all functions worked together, collaborated together. And straight away, this removed the silos because we were building the plan together. So from the ground up, we looked at removing the silos, a full inventory, if you will. So before we start into the plan, the baseline approach was looking at what did we have that works, what needs to evolve into a global, scalable, international and cohesive SEO network. Quite a mouthful, but that was required. And implement the global collaboration throughout this. So removing the silos throughout the functions was important. Step 1, creation of the network, work streams. So a work stream, because we have so many moving parts in the Global SEO Network, and it's quite big, we've broken out each of the different tasks that will build that network into work streams. So if I take an example, on-page SEO, a functional lead is assigned to on-page. They will have a sub-team if it's required. They will have a process as well. So every single process in the work stream is defined. They have a start, a decision point, and a stop of the project as well. Everything is defined in that way, in a standard way for every single work stream. Additionally to that, when a work stream requires budget, for example, translating for SEO, you might require budget. If you're translating in Japanese, in Korean, German, as well as Brazilian Portuguese, you're going to need some budget to do that. So everything is defined and sits within these work streams. This makes things really easy should an agency or a new person want to understand or joining the Global SEO Network. They will find everything here documented in a simple way. And that was really important because before the creation of that network, a lot of these processes will be sitting in some desk or in some people's head. So that was a key thing to do. And then corporate priorities. So in here, we dive into the detail. So what are the keywords that we're going to work on as a Global SEO Network? What are the pages? What are the areas? So that's important because corporate will have set goals at the beginning of the year for the entire organization. So we're going to align to that, but not align just to that. The success route to the corporate priorities will require us to look at the entire funnel. And I will come to that in a moment. And then step 3, we are live. So we're activating the Global SEO Network. All the work streams are up and running. The processes are being used and tested. And if things have to be improved, they will be improved then. Right, we talked about the funnel. All right. So we have worked and built a funnel very specifically for SEO. And that was a really important piece of work because funnels don't always behave as you expect them to. And this is a cross-function organic search acquisition funnel. Let me explain more. Right. So we're going to have our head terms, informational. So typically, when we look at the head terms, when we expect people to come on from the head of funnel, we will be looking at high volumes. We will be looking at research. An example can be what is artificial intelligence, for example. And a lot of that can also be quite busy. But a lot of that sometimes can happen outside of your actual website, so you won't know about it. And they could have your users, our potential buyers, customers, when you look at the journey throughout the funnel, they can be doing their research somewhere else. So therefore, their entry to the funnel might not be at this point, which is why we need to look at all of the areas of the funnel. So now we look at the body terms. Body terms, we're looking at typically problem framing. It can be, for example, AI image recognition problems. So somebody can be struggling with that and need software for that. And this is typical to the sort of issues that people want to fix. And this is telling us a lot about what our buyers and customers are expecting to see when we're at that stage of the funnel. And then finally, our tail terms. In terms of tail terms, we are looking at proof of concept. We're looking at successes of other customers that might have been either in the same industry or might have had the same problems that we have solved for them. And now that we're able to get them on board with that. So looking through the funnel and measuring the funnel is really, really important. So one last thing on this, one key takeaway is that obviously it's quite obvious. It's a funnel. We want to layer all our SEO on it. But the key thing here is that when you do this exercise, you might find that you have gaps. You have content gaps and you have visibility gaps. And you might not know where. You might have gaps on top of funnel, or you might have gaps anywhere else, or you might have your tail terms and bottom of funnel really well covered. But you need to know that because then you can address it. Do you need to produce more head of funnel content or middle funnel content? Do you need to? Numbers will tell you if this is working or not, or you might not need to. But the key here is that you want to know where are your gaps in visibility. All right. I am going to move on to the results now. So this is the result for just one page. This is the artificial intelligence topic page that we have. You can see it's quite similar across many different markets. The reason why some of these pages are right next to each other is because when we created the Global SEO Network, we wanted to do a scalable enterprise international network. And scalable is really the key word here. Therefore, when we work on our SEO content, we call them SEO magnets, so it's typically 3,000 words, and we look at translating them in local markets, optimizing them, link building, so the whole toolkit of SEO goes on there. When we do this simultaneously across all markets. And here you can see that the results are in, so we are managing to stay on page 1. We want to remain on the top 3, but obviously there's a lot of work happening behind the scenes. And obviously you can see also impact on the traffic as well. So that's one of the key things. And since we've deployed this, we are now able to publish pages with minimal review from natives. Some markets are even publishing the content straight away. I won't tell you how fast it is because that might be really, really impressive and shocking. But like, let's say for Germany, for example, our local SEO lead only change one word and publish the page. So that's how streamlined the process has become. Okay, so impact on business. Right, so we saw that at the beginning. So 42% increase on organic search traffic, 22% conversion, and source pipeline. The eagle-eyed will see that the impact on source pipeline is actually higher than traffic. So which is why, once again, we want to look at the full funnel. There are some more numbers. These are just up here to show you that we measure the funnel activity. So from top of funnel to bottom of funnel, MQL into automated qualified leads into MQL, etc., and so on and so forth. There's just a few numbers here. We monitor many more numbers, which I can't share because our legal team will kill me. Right. Now let's move on into the key learnings. So the key that we have learned, the key learnings that we have taken from creating the Global SEO Network and getting results from it, is that we wanted to look at collaboration points. So for us, this formula worked: multicultural diversity plus collaboration equals growth. But the key thing here is to understand where are the teams connecting. How can we improve that collaboration to break down those silos? Because this really is about breaking down those silos and working together as one team, one KPI, one organic search network. And this is how we were able to get these numbers. Next one, data. Always measure through the funnel. Understand what the data is saying. They're telling us a story. You don't know what you don't know. And if you don't know that, then you can't improve on it. Organic search is not that easy in my experience and in many organizations to measure. Because there's always going to be like, oh, there's this, there's organic social, organic this and that. You want to get as close as possible to the truth so that you can understand at least where you're trending. So yeah, know your data. Third key learning. So when we created the global organic search network, we realized that we had experts from around the world who maybe didn't have the platform to grow. So creating a space for the experts to thrive was really important. We don't want the technical SEO guy to dumb it down for us and to explain it to us. We want that person to grow, to have their skills even more sharpened. We want the content guys to create even more content that they think is going to work and that we can try on the market, that we can map to our funnel. We want to have more of this. And creating that network helped us do that, helped us give a space to the experts to thrive in it. And some of the team leaders here in leadership, you really can support with that because these are things that we know are going to pay back further down the line. All right. And then finally, so this is my last slide. These are the core members of the Global SEO Network. And as you can see, I mentioned earlier, we have people from different countries all around the world. So we work across 10.5 time zones. It's not easy, but one thing I can tell you is that this team meets on a weekly basis to work on SEO. 1 hour every week we meet and we progress on the scope of work. We look at what are the objectives, we look at the amount of work that we've done, and we close the work as much as we can. So a lot going on behind the scenes. There are more members actually, but these are just the active and core members at the moment. We do have some of our agency guys on there as well, like just a few, Positive Curve. We have TWT as well, and right arm here, translation. So just a handful of agency people in here, but the rest is internal. So you can see that how that collaboration has happened. And then finally, I want to say that with collaboration, we can see that performance really goes bounds and leaps. We've really achieved growth. We really achieved company impact on the bottom line. We've really achieved success with the collaboration. So one of the key takeaways really on this slide is that together we are stronger. So if we did this, you guys can do it too. All right. Thank you for listening.
Monthly reporting making you want to shove sharp things up your nose? Try Dragon Metrics, the all-in-one SEO software with mind-blowing reporting tools.